Major reason for not having everything you want in America. Major reason for not having more of what you want in America. More health, more money, more power, more influence, more everything. Major reason why you don't get it. Simple answer. Neglect. Neglect. And here's the problem with neglect. It starts as an infection. And if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. And here's what else is the problem. One neglect leads to another. Neglect to do wise things with your money, you'll probably neglect to do wise things with your time. Neglect to do wise things with your time, you'll probably neglect to do wise things with your business. One leads to another, leads to another. Pretty soon, neglect has you by the throat, emptying your purse, emptying your heart, emptying all of your chances for equities and power and all the good things. Neglect. What if you should be walking around the block every day for your good health and you don't? I'm telling you, you're on the wrong track. You should do it, you could do it, you don't do it. That's called formula for disaster. All you've got to do is let that and a few other things accumulate for 6 years, and now you're driving what you don't want to drive, wearing what you don't want to wear, living where you don't want to live, doing what you don't want to do, maybe having become what you really didn't want to become. I'm telling you, that's it. Just neglect along, drift along, and it's got you by the throat. It'll take all your values, leave you with just a little bit of dust in a summer wind, and it'll soon be gone. I hope I said that well. That's it. It's where I found myself at age 25 until my teacher came along and said, Mr. Owen, up till now you've messed up. Let's see if we can't clean that up, change it all. I did. Changed my life. Not just the money, all the rest of the values that came pouring in when I understood that it was me. It was me. Here's the problem with the least neglect. Neglect starts as an infection. And if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. And one neglect leads to another. And the worst of all, when neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. You say, well, how can I get back my self-respect? I'm telling you, you don't have to go to 29 classes. All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that now corresponds to your own philosophy, like I should, and I could, and I will. No longer will I let neglect stack up on me so that I will have the sorry scenario 6 years from now, giving some excuse instead of celebrating my progress.
Failure should not become a prison house where you're held hostage the rest of your life by your mistakes. Your mistakes are not final. Your failure is not final. You might have made a mistake, but you're not one. You might have failed, but you're not a failure. You might be down, but down is not your destiny.
The fear of failure is actually rooted in the fear of rejection. We're afraid if we're not good and successful that we won't be accepted. If I fail my test, if I lose the race, or if I fail in any way that I'm going to be criticized and rejected, I will not be chosen. And people hate that feeling that nobody wants them.
A lot of people don't want to fail. Fear of failure, fear of success, and guess what else? Fear of the unknown. So you got to decide, wait. Even if things don't work out, even if I experience defeat or failure, that does not make me a failure. It's a difference between failing and being a failure. If things don't work out, if you don't produce the results you want, that's all. But don't confuse who you are with the results that you produce.
I have failed far more times than I've succeeded. You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. I tell people this all the time. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. 946 times since he was in high school, the ball has been in his hand to take the game-winning shot with no time on the clock. He has only made 146 of those. He has missed over 700 times, but he has made 146. You know what they write about? When you make it. They write about when you make it. So guess what? When you get through failing, all you got to do is make one.
I remember reading a quote that says, "I wish you failure so you could better temper success. I wish you sadness so you could better measure joy." And I often say the ability to learn is a gift, even when pain is your teacher. Adversity, opposition, joy, happiness, whatever the case may be. Pain plus reflection equals progress. What's the painful moments in your life, right? What's the reflection that's attached to it? And what's the progress that's going to come as a result of it?
Creative thinkers don't fear failure. I firmly believe that overcoming failure is a key to success in life. In fact, I wrote a book based on the belief entitled Failing Forward. The thesis of the book is that the difference between average people and achieving people is their perception of and response to failure. But when it comes to creativity, the ability to be unafraid of failure is even more important. Why is that so crucial? Because creativity equals failure. Creativity requires a willingness to look stupid. It means getting out on a limb, knowing that the limb often breaks. Creative people know these things and still keep searching for new ideas. They just don't let the ideas that don't work prevent them from coming up with more ideas that do work. I believe creativity can improve a person's quality of life.
The fear of failing holds a lot of us back. No one likes to fail, but the truth is, whether we like to fail or not, failing is an important part of life. It's impossible to go through life without experiencing some kind of failure. With that, taking risks is very important. I want you all to think of failing not as a bad way, but as a way of learning. And when we learn, we grow. Don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to start a podcast, or maybe you want to get your master's. Go out there, fail, but continue to bounce back. And don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try.
I've had in my career probably a total of over 200 pitch meetings to pitch ideas in Hollywood. Out of those 200, they have picked 5 of them. 200 show ideas, they've picked 5 of them. But you know what them 5 was? Hits. In 33 years, 5 ideas got picked. All I need is 5 hits. That's all. A baseball player gets paid millions and millions of dollars for a 300 batting average. That means out of every 10 times he goes to the plate, he only hits the ball 3 times. They're millionaires. They only hit it 3 times. Man, please. So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer.
Learn from every experience. Big picture thinkers broaden their outlook by striving to learn from every experience. They don't rest on their successes, they learn from them. More importantly, they learn from their failures. They are able to do that because they remain teachable. In my book, Failing Forward, I described the teachable spirit this way. Teachability is an attitude, a mindset that says no matter how much I know or think I know, I can learn from this situation. That kind of thinking can help you turn adversity into advantage. It can make you a winner even during the most difficult circumstances. If you desire to be a big picture thinker, then get out there and try a lot of things, take a lot of chances, and take time to learn after every victory or defeat.
And one of the main reasons why people want to have a plan B is because they are worried about failing. What is if I fail, then I don't have anything else? Well, let me tell you something. Don't be afraid of failing, because there's nothing wrong with failing. You have to fail in order to climb that ladder. There's no one that doesn't fail. Michael Jordan said in one of his interviews, when they said, "You're unbelievable, you're the greatest basketball player of all times. I mean, tell me about that." And he says, "Well, you just mentioned the successes." But he says, "For me to become the greatest basketball player, I missed 9,000 shots when I was playing basketball at the NBA games. So during these games that he was so successful, he missed 9,000 shots. Does it make him a failure? No. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all times, but he failed 9,000 times. Do you get it? We all fail. It's okay. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up. Fail and get up. Fail and get up. You always get up. That is a winner.
I want you to be afraid of failure. I fear failure. But more important, I want you to be terrified of sitting on your ass and doing nothing. That is what I want you to be afraid of waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years or 60 years and being no closer to your goal. You've made no progress. That is the home. That is the nightmare. That is what you can be truly afraid of. Take the risk, take the gamble, take the first step, take